Last time on Toriko chapter 255, Midora has unleashed meteor spice upon the human world after he finished off his eldest brother Ichiryuu, or so we believe.
Wait, he didn't die?
Nope, that punch from the previous chapter missed.
What? But all that build-up towards Ichiryuu's death! I mean, the previous chapter was called a sad end, and you mean to tell me after all of that, all that emotion and drama that we went through from the previous chapter, he's not dead in the end? So I was sad for nothing in the end?
Well, I wouldn't really say that. Plus, you might wanna be careful with what you say. You'll piss off a lot of Toriko fans just like King of Lightning.
Well, I'm not saying that I hated it. I was just a little disappointed that it didn't really go through in the end because we'd expected a sad end, which I guess it was kind of a sad end. But it was led to believe that Ichiryuu was going to die, but he didn't. Not by his brother's hands, at least. But on the plus side, him being alive means that he has another purpose in the story. Shimabukuro must be saving him for something if he's not dead yet.
Yeah, that's probably it. Oh crap, she doesn't know yet.
Know what?
Nothing at all. Anyway, Ichiryuu asks why he was spared, and Midora tells him that he wasn't worth killing, since he was so old that he was way past the expiration date. Although with the meteor spice, Ichiryuu did make some preparations so that people will survive. However, people will still die from the lack of food, which means that it's his time for his full course to shine. And he says that someone will definitely find it, and there will be someone who can cook it. Meanwhile, the meteor spice has reached the human world, causing some serious damage. But the people were saved thanks to Riki, Montan's pet leopard, and the giraffe birds. Meanwhile, in Cooking Island, Setsuno and Jiro attempt to stop the meteor spice from destroying what's left of Cooking Island. With Froze, she wonders whether the meteor spice was also a part of Bishokushin Akatsuya's plans.
Huh?
Meanwhile, back in Gourmet World, Ichiryuu tries to warn Midora about Neo. It seems he's aware of Neo, apparently, all this time.
So, does this mean that the Bishokukai and IGO are gonna team up? Even though they're enemies for over 255 chapters?
It seems like it.
Well, it's not like it's the first time that ever happened before in a story.
Meanwhile, Starjun and the Bishokukai escape the meteor spice, taking with them Komatsu. And with Toriko, his entire body has been completely healed.
Wow. Now I know why the dark technique Komatsu used was forbidden.
What do you mean?
I mean, Komatsu just unintentionally partially awakened his gourmet cells. I mean, look at the regenerated limbs and his other limbs intact. The regenerated limbs have a darker skin color than the originals, so which means that his gourmet cells may have been partially awakened, which means that Toriko has now gained another power-up. So easily, I guess, if you think about it. But then, you probably know all about it.
What are you talking about?
You think I didn't hear you whispering, "Oh crap, she doesn't even know yet"? You know something about this week's chapter, Toriko. God damn it, you always read it before I do.
Well, it's not my fault you go to bed whenever the chapter comes out late.
Yeah, but the way you're whispering, it sounds like this week's chapter, something incredibly intense is going to happen, or something incredibly crazy. What do you know?
Alright, I won't deny it. I do know something about this week's chapter, Toriko, because I read it before you could. And something intense or crazy. I don't know myself what happened, but something crazy did happen in this week's chapter, but I'm not gonna spoil it because you just have to read it for yourself.
Are you sure you're not hyping this up?
No, I'm seriously not hyping this up. You have to read this chapter because even I cannot comprehend what just happened.
Okay, Narrator-san, I'll read it after the recap. Oh crap, the recap! We gotta wrap this up, quick!
Oh shit, you're right. Now that the Bishokukai and IGO have a common enemy, will these two work together to fight against Neo? What will happen with Komatsu now that he is captured by the Bishokukai? Has Toriko finally awakened a new power? Will the human world survive after the meteor spice? And what did Froze mean that this was also a part of Kassia's calculations? Find out in this week's chapter of Toriko.